Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and then set up Samba on Fedora 32. So we're going to start with the installation of Samba. To do that, run this command. So DNF install Samba and add -y so you're not interrupted for reconfirmation of packages and so on. Tells you here what is installing. Let me just expand this window a little bit. So we're installing Samba and there are some additional dependencies. Samba tools and libraries. That won't take long, a couple of seconds and that's it. Once we install Samba, we can back up the existing config file and create then a new one. Okay, that's now complete. Let's see if this can be done like this. Paste. Excellent. I can run this command now. So what we're doing here, we're going to etc Samba and we're going to take a copy of SMB and create a copy. Excellent. So to create a new file, we're going to write the following. Let's move to cd slash etc Samba. Run ls. We can see there is a Samba smb.conf. So let's cut that. Okay, so we can just run gedit, or like this. This will be faster. Gedit smb.conf. Gedit is a text tool, will enable us to do this much faster. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to copy what was already written earlier on. And I will explain what we're looking at here. So these are, we're modifying global properties. We need to remove one of these double ones. Okay. So we have now, we're telling Samba configuration. The net BIOS will be called vmshare. The server string is vmshare. Workgroup, which is just called local LAN. Security method is user rather than anything else because this will be a standalone installation of Samba. We're going to use encrypted password and we're going to use the following virtual share. It will be located in -srv and the file will, the folder will be called virtshare. These are the comments and it's not going to be read-only because we want to write into it. So we're going to save this. Okay, that's done now. So if we run a cut command again, it will tell us here that those changes have taken place. Okay, the next thing we want to do is to make this directory that we mentioned in a path here. So for that reason, I'm going to run this command, mkdir -p and virtshare, so short for virtual share. So directory is done. We're going to change permissions to the directory so that we can read, write, and we're going to set 770. So pwd, let's go to cdsrv, let's run ls, and you can see the virtshare is there. If we run lah, we can see the permissions. So currently root owns we're going to change that later on. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to set up SE Linux to work with Samba. So let's paste this. So this is a command. Stretch this out a bit. There we go. So SE manage F context -a -t Samba share, and our share is SRV virt share. So hit enter. That'll do the trick. Once that's done, we're going to run this particular command. About SE Linux, I will create a separate video just to make sure we cover the SE Linux with Samba and so on. So now that is sorted. So next step is to actually start to enable Samba to run. So let's do this, paste. So systemctl enable SMB. That's done. And the next one is to actually start Samba. There we go. That should now start without any problems. Okay, so that's the command to check whether Samba is running, and we can see it's running. But we have a couple of red ones, items in red, which I'm not going to cover in this video. We'll go through all of this in a separate video. I intend to make several videos about this Samba. Okay, so we'll quit this and clear the screen. So now we create a Samba and it's up and running. Let's see what we can see in here. If I click on network, we should soon. It's a little bit slow, but you will get there eventually. Okay, here is our VM share. We have another one that I used in the previous test, but this is the one we created. We can't do nothing at the minute because we haven't got users. We don't have a user that can access Samba. So want to best demonstrate that, or let's say just a registered user, and I will use just username and password I use for Linux, and that will fail. So what we need to do next, although we have a Linux standard user, we are going to add a Samba user. Okay, so we have that set, but before we do that, we're going to create a group that we'll use for Samba. So I'm going to create this called Samba Users. Okay, so that's coming up, that's done. Once we've done that, we're going to add users to this group. Edit and paste. Okay. That's done. And the last thing we need to do to actually enable this user is to assign a password. Now, password can be whatever you want, really. It can be the same as your ordinary or different. I think it's always a good idea to have different passwords. So let's set up this one here. Okay, we set up a password for user demo. And we're going to now make some changes to the folder in SRV so that we can actually access it. So if I go to cd/srv, I'm sorry, I'm there already. No, pwd. Yep. So currently, VirtShare is owned by root, and we're going to change this so we can use our users. So you'll be change owner. Will be really root and Samba users, and it will call virtual share. So let's run Okay, now we can see that the group ownership belongs to Samba users. So we'll be able to access that folder and navigate through that. Okay, the next thing to do here is to start creating folders inside this. So let's go, oops, here my typing. So let's mk there demo. So see there's a folder, and if we look at the ownership, it's a root. So we're going to want to change the ownership of this. So it'll be -r, it'll be demo, oops, and the folder is called demo. My mistake again, we were typos. There you go, that's done now. We also need to create change permissions on, let's just clear the screen for a second. So pwd, okay. So we can see that the permissions here are actually correct. We are going to go to, and we're going to change permissions here. So what we want to do, we want to give a demo rights to navigate and write and execute and everything, and only members of demo group will be allowed to do that, nobody else. So we'll do like this. There we go. So those permissions are now changed. For Samba to work with other computers and so on, we need to go to Firewall and open ports. There are 4 ports we need to do that. But before we do that, let's just try to access the Samba now. So demo. Here we go. Now we can access a folder called demo, and we can now create new folder. Let's call it just 1. And let's go inside here and create folder number 2, and that works. And if we go back here, as a virtual share, in this level of folder structure, we can't do nothing. If we go in here, we can create a folder. We can call it share 1, and the 1A, and so on, right? So we can write in this area, and we should be able to equally delete those folders. There you go. But once we create a folder on this level, other users will be able to see it as well. So if I call this folder 1A, let's run a list here. So we can see here folder 1A. The owner is demo user account, but he allows a group to execute. Okay. I will demonstrate in a separate video how to play with these folders and how to set permissions and how to traverse through folders and use the creator owner way of managing the folder structure. Okay, so let's see what else we could do in here. Okay, so to enable Samba to work from other machines, we're going to add several. I will do it by command line. UDP. We're going to add ports into it. So port 137. Next one is 138, also UDP. There will be 139, and this one is TCP. And 445, also TCP. So now we will be able to access Samba shares from other computers. I think for this video, uh, this would be all. We have managed to install Samba. We created user accounts. We're able to access folders and create folders, and we have permissions. I will create additional video to show you how to access Samba from different machines using different user accounts and so on. I'll create a separate video how to use a tool called Cockpit, which is Red Hat's tool to manage endpoints. With that tool, we can also manage logical volumes for operating system. And in this particular case, I will show you how to manage the size of logical volumes that Samba uses. Main reason for that is that there are some limitation in terms of space in this current folder structure that I created for this video. So if we go here, we do df minus h df. It will show us some size of the files and so on. But more details about this in some other video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And leave your comments in the comment sections. Great. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.